Second chapter was Sankhya Yoga, predominantly known as Sankhya Yoga. Some people also call it Atma Yoga. Every chapter, as you now know, yoga is reuniting. It's insisted, like bringing it back to the point. Again, it's very technical, very intelligent conversation, communication. Look at the communication skills also, like bringing it back to the point. At the end of every chapter, bringing it to the point. Right? Yoga, the Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, whatever. So that, hey, this was all about reuniting. This wasn't just general talk. This wasn't just general knowledge, or this wasn't about how to win the war or whether to run or not. This is about how to reunite with your original self. Everything that, so that it starts, every chapter starts with its name, which has yoga in it. Every chapter ends with yoga.
Just one thing, from what I've heard, like second chapter is almost like summary of the whole Gita. That's what I've heard also.
Some have said that. Some have said that.
But it's not completely.
No.
What you said.
Like, at least not in my experience, and also at least my limited common sense informs me that if it was, then there would have been no need for the third chapter. With the Arjuna would have said, all right, here I am, I'm ready. Because there's so many questions still in his mind. Like very, very basic question. Like, you were born today. In the fourth chapter, he says, right, you were born with me like a year and a half before me. And you're saying, oh, I told this to the sun god and this, that, how come? That's a very basic literal question. Or when I told you 8th chapter, he had 8 questions, and just, what is it slipping back?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you sure you don't know, like your foot was hurt?
You want to sit up? No.
Yeah.
Can I sit here? I'm sure there's one.
Oh yeah, that's not going to be.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
However you want to. Yeah. So one of the ones sent you by Gandhiji especially had emphasized that second chapter is it for him. The challenge is this, my processing of it. Is second chapter the summary of all the Gita? I say no. Many people have said yes, including none other than Gandhiji, right? It has all the right theory in it. But for someone like me, that doesn't work. Like, but what about? But what if? Like in the 6th chapter, Arjuna says, yeah, but what will I do with my mind? I can't control my mind. What about that? What happens when they die halfway through? They were on the path of, these are questions, right? And literally in the form of questions. So the second chapter does not fully unpack, fully address that. So for ordinary people like us, I think if Arjun couldn't, and obviously we couldn't. So the fullness of the Gita manifests only in the 18th chapter. Some have said the 18th chapter is the summary. Also, I also disagree with that, actually, because the 18th chapter highlights certain aspects of it, like so the recovery aspect of it, but it doesn't get into the details of what was covered before. Rather than saying which chapter is the summary of the Gita, I don't know that there is a way to summarize the Gita. The way I have processed it for myself, like what resonates with me the most? What's the hook for me? What chapter really does the magic for me, does the trick for me, which is the most powerful for me? Or which two, couple of those. Maybe even I've for myself, I've brought it down to which one verse from the 700. As long as I have that, as long as I remember that, as long as I carry that, I have the whole Gita. Talk about a summary, right? And I swear by God that it does that one verse. The thing is, the trick is you have to find your own, right? No, and which requires some diligent, not reading, not reciting, not saying, thinking, right? Diligent processing of it, immersion, which necessitates dhyan, which is, what do I say? Why do I say? What the formula is? थोड़ी गीता और थोड़ा ध्यान, बस इतनी तो साधना है, थोड़ी गीता और थोड़ा ध्यान. ये बाकी डिटेल सब आ जाएंगे जीवन में, प्राणायाम भी हो जाएगा, सब हो जाएगा, एक्सरसाइज हो जाएगा, सब हो जाएगा. पहली थोड़ी गीता थोड़ा ध्यान. सचमुच में इस देह का, I really want to fulfill the mission of this what we're endowed with. But feel free to stop me if you want to